Securing the right land for a self-sufficient, off-grid project takes a lot of patience. After months of searching, I finally closed the deal on a remote area in the Mojave Desert for a great price. Plus, the seller guaranteed me there was a good water table beneath that dry soil. To my surprise, an old shipping container had been left behind by an unfinished infrastructure project. I got out of the car and just stood there, looking at that rusty steel framed by the desert rocks. And right then, I knew I'd found the right place. So now it was time to turn it into something completely different. I loaded up the truck and went straight to work. The first step was to map out the floor plan and cut through the steel walls to install the large panoramic glass doors. The goal was to frame the view like a giant piece of living art. But it was a huge challenge. Years of exposure had left the container covered in surface rust. So before painting, I treated the entire metal structure with the professional rust remover. After that, I leveled the surrounding ground to prepare the area for construction. Before continuing the build, I needed to find out if the previous owner's promise about the water was true. In this desert region, water from the surrounding mountains slowly seeps into the ground and is stored beneath the valley sediments, making the wells surprisingly productive. Instead of bringing in a huge drilling rig, I used a portable drill. It was enough. Just past 20 meters deep, I hit a clean aquifer, which made me really happy. My biggest worry was already solved. So I installed a submersible pump, connected everything to a large external tank, and from that moment on, water was no longer an issue. With the water system running, I could finally get back to the container. Now I needed to solve the temperature problem. To protect the container, I applied a thermal coating designed to reflect the intense desert heat and protect the steel against future corrosion. And next to the tank, I installed the main AC unit, ensuring comfort even with the region's huge temperature swings. On the next trip, I brought a large industrial tank that will be turned into the pool. After installing the whole circulation and filtration system, I built a wooden deck around it and added a fireplace, which will be very useful on cold desert nights. To keep out the fine dust and withstand the strong winds of the region, I installed black aluminum frames with reinforced ceiling, completely closing off the structure. With the main structure finished, I could finally build one of my favorite parts of this project: an outdoor staircase leading up to a raised rooftop terrace, where I built a deck and created a new living area with an amazing view of the desert. Right next to it, I've already installed a set of solar panels capable of powering the entire cabin. With the exterior done, it was time to work on the interior. I finished all the electrical wiring, put in the thermal insulation, and started setting up the rooms. In the bathroom, I chose waterproof vinyl panels that perfectly mimic the look of natural wood. Besides being easy to install, they don't need grout and are much more durable in wet areas. Next came the custom kitchen cabinets, followed by the living room and the bedroom, both positioned to make the most of the panoramic view. With the interior finished, I filled the pool and started bringing the outdoor areas to life. I added typical desert plants, lounge furniture, and finished decorating both decks. From the very start of the project, I knew I wanted to set up a telescope. Far from the city lights, the night sky here is just spectacular. As the sun disappears behind the mountains, I make my cup of tea and watch the desert slowly change colors. What a gorgeous view, what incredible colors. Nothing gets me more excited than being able to take in nature in its purest state. It's hard to believe that all of this started with just an old abandoned container in the middle of nowhere. Today, it's been transformed into a fully self-sufficient retreat and, without a doubt, another one of my favorites. If you like this video, check out the other transformations here on the channel. Each house comes with its own challenges, its own story, its own problems to solve. But in the end, it's always worth it. Thanks so much for watching and see you in the next transformation.